Families in our area who are looking for home care for their loved ones can expect to pay anywhere between $17 and $20 an hour for those services. That makes the private duty home care workers who advertise their services in the newspaper at $10 an hour a very attractive option. However, Rachel Carson of Home Instead Senior Care is here today to explain that there may be some hidden costs and hidden risks associated with hiring these individuals.
Rachel, today we want to talk a little bit about the private duty care workers that we see in the newspaper. They advertise their services at $10, $11, $12 an hour, which I guess is considerably less expensive than what the national or the local home care agencies charge. Why the difference? Why the discrepancy in the charge, and what do we need to be thinking about if we're thinking about hiring that $10 an hour person?
Okay. Well, you know the old adage about the thing that looks too good to be true may be too good to be true.
Right.
Well, there are some excellent private caregivers out there, but you have to realize that if you hire somebody privately for that less cost, you are the employer. And as the employer...
Well, not legally.
Well, yes. You are.
Okay.
All right. You would have to withhold taxes. You would have to match the FICA for them. You should do a criminal background check to be sure that they're who they say they are, that they have training. How do you know that they're going to take proper care of your loved one? There are just a number of things to think about when you're hiring somebody privately. What if they get sick? Who's going to come in to take care of that person? What if they fall and get hurt at your house?
And this is the caregiver, not the person they're giving care for.
That's exactly right. And what happens if they don't declare their taxes, what you paid them in cash under the table? Who is the IRS coming after?
This sounds like what used to happen with like the babysitters.
Well,
you know, the nanny thing is the same kind of thing.
Same kind of thing. That's right. And if they don't declare it, and the Internal Revenue Service finds out that they didn't declare their taxes, they're not coming after them. They're coming after you, the employer. So it's really something to think about. So if you're thinking about hiring a person that your friend down the street used and her sister is available, please, 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 please check them out.
Right.
Ask for references. Do a criminal background check on that person. Find out what kind of training they have. How are they going to report to you? Is there a reporting system? How do you know they've done what they said they did during the daytime hours?
One other telling thing is, why is this person available for $10 an hour? Why aren't they coming to work for a company like Home Instead or some of the other reputable ones that are out there?
That's an excellent question. And one of the reasons for that is because they can make more money in their own pocket, but they have no supervision.
And I guess they're not paying any taxes, right? I mean, it's all, well,
that's not for me to say.
We wouldn't say, right?
I don't know. But, a lot of people do that because then they're not responsible to anyone else. They don't have to uphold a certain standard of care, which an agency would insist that they do. My particular agency, we screen our caregivers very carefully, check personal references as well as their employment references. We do criminal background checks, motor vehicle record checks. Are they a good driver?
Right.
Have they had a TB test? Are they in good physical condition?
This is stuff you would just never think about.
Oh, I'm right. A lot of people don't. And when you're hiring through an agency, we make sure that they're trained, that they know what they're doing before we put them in a house with someone. We have a quality assurance system in place so that we can be the eyes and ears for a family. If a sister or a daughter or a son lives hundreds of miles away, how do they know what kind of care mom or dad gets?
Right.
So we're the intermediary with them. We are their eyes and ears. We keep them posted about what's going on. We keep a journal in the home. So agencies can replace somebody. If a caregiver calls in and says she's sick that day, or she just had an automobile accident, or she's delayed in traffic, then we can get someone else to go. Whereas a private caregiver, you can't get that.
And so all of a sudden you can't go to your job, or
exactly.
Or go out of town or whatever you needed to do because the one person you had is not available.
Right.
Now you mentioned something earlier to the effect of like, what if the caregiver, the person that you've hired, what if they get hurt in the house? Well, I mean, what if they get hurt?
Well, if you have hired them privately, you're responsible unless they have liability insurance. You're the one that's responsible for treating that injury, and making sure that they're okay. So all of that falls on you.
So I mean, they're like the medical expenses?
All their medical expenses, yes, because they got hurt on the job. So it's your insurance that has to pay for that.
Wow.
If there's theft, it's your homeowners that has to pay for that. Whereas if you have an agency, we are insured, bonded, and covered by workman's compensation, so we can handle all those things for you.
Okay, wow.
And we handle all the taxes, everything else.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I think that's one of the things that you had mentioned was that, you know, if you do hire these private duty caregivers, as tempting as they look, I mean, you're essentially becoming, like you, a CEO of a home care company.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you remember the adage too: you get what you pay for.
Right.
If you get something very, very inexpensively, you may not get the quality that you want.
Yep. Well, Rachel Carson, thank you so much for being here today. You've educated me. I know you've helped a lot of people that are watching this, and we hope to have you back here real soon.
Thank you, John. We thank you for all you do in the community and helping all of us.
Thanks. It means a lot.
Home Instead was started by Paul and Lori Hogan in Omaha, Nebraska, May 1st, 1994. And it happened because Paul's grandmother, Mrs. Manhart, needed a lot of help. She was 85, she was not doing well, and even though she had 7 children and like 30 grandchildren, it took the whole family of running back and forth for her, making sure she had meals, all that sort of thing. So Paul, who at that point was a developer for Mary Maids, decided this might be something that was worthwhile to do, is to find people who would do non-medical things for people, like meal preparation, taking them to the doctor, helping them pick up prescriptions, things like that. So that's how it was started in 1994, and we now have 800 offices in 13 countries, and we're attempting always to stay on the cutting edge of the industry. Well, we do all those things that a medical service does not do. We do companionship, we do laundry, shopping, errands, meal preparation, personal care, medication reminders, and we even are now representatives for Philips Lifeline, which is a personal response system, which gives people the assurance that someone will be there if they need them, whether it's for an emergency or if they're uneasy about something, that we'll be there. We do things like train in home safety, what to look for in the home, cords, scatter rugs, how the furniture is arranged. Is there a lot of clutter? What's the bathroom like? If the person is partially sighted, is there good lighting in the house? Is there a way to differentiate a step? Because if you have a decreased vision and you go to a step, you may fall down the step if you can't see the edge of the step. So safety training is primary.
So just things to look out for.
Things to look out for. Safety training, basic skills, how to prepare meals, how to set a table, how to help somebody with a bath,
right,
how to help somebody groom and dress, how to walk with someone who may have a little difficulty walking with a walker or a cane. How do you do this safely?
Right.
Then advanced things that we do about is activities for people who have dementia.
Okay.
We do dementia training, that specialized course we talked about earlier, because we want to give the caregivers the very best tools to make them the best caregivers anywhere.